But Andy, I want you just close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Yes. And just imagine, ding dong. Andy, you can open your eyes now. I'm here. You for years and years, you have invited me to come over for a cup of tea, and I have finally managed to make it.
Absolutely.
What would I see? How do you make we saw John, talking about the coffee, but how do you make a proper cup of tea?
Well, funny you should ask. I actually have put a second camera in my kitchen. So what I'm going to do now, as I speak to you, can you see my second camera there? Has that come through on the system?
We do see your second.
Wonderful. So I've got a radio mic on, so you should be able to hear me as well as I walk through. So I've now come through into the kitchen. Can you?
There you are. We see you.
See you now.
Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I've got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you fine.
Very good. Okay, so welcome to our kitchen. This is where we make proper cups of tea. Now, a few things to tell you about. First of all, 1 or 2 bits of history about cups of tea that you may not know. Since the 17th century in the UK, it's been one of the most popular drinks. In fact, now the average consumer consumes over 4 pounds of tea a year. 1615, the first Englishman experienced it, and in 1660, we started importing tea into the UK. Roughly speaking, the UK makes 100 million cups of tea a day, and that's 36 billion cups of tea every year. So there's a few things that I think, especially my friends, my beloved friends in the US, need to understand about how to make a proper cup of tea. And the first one of these, which is really, really important, move right over here to the kettle, is boiling water. This water, it may be seen dangerous, but the water has to be boiling to actually make tea properly. Now, there's a variety of different teas you can have. As you can see, we have a number of teas here. I actually have a very favorite black tea here, which we actually buy in tea bags. Now, there is a big debate as to whether loose leaf tea or tea bags, either can work very well as long as you actually make it with proper hot water. So my kettle is boiling. I think I can hear it just about finished over here. The next question, of course, is, do I make it directly into my mug, or do I actually make it into a teapot? Now, if I'm going to make it into a mug, pretty well, I can just pour that nice, properly boiling water straight into my tea and let it do it. Obviously, if I'm doing loose leaf tea, then I need a nice teapot. This is a nice China teapot I've got here. The key thing, if you've got a China teapot, is you need to warm it up, because you don't want to remove that heat. So if I was going to make it in here, and I'm not going to do this because I can't do too many things at once, you need to warm the pot up nicely. So I suggest putting a bit of extra boiling water in, leave it in there for a couple of minutes to get that pot really nice and warm. So I've then got my cup of tea and I'm brewing it nicely. I realized I didn't get a spoon out my drawer, so just over there to get a spoon now. So how long to brew a cup of tea? Typically 2, 3, 4 minutes. It really depends on taste as to how long you want to do it. There's another key question. Now, again, this is probably a little bit alien to some of my friends in other countries. The first one is milk. I hear you say, what is this about milk? But milk is just a key part of the way most people in Britain have cups of tea. So a little dash of milk. Now, there is a question as to when you should add the milk. Now, if you're making it with a tea bag, you should always add the milk later, because you need the boiling water to actually brew the tea. If you're, however, doing it in a teapot, and I just want to show you here, this is a massive teapot I've got. This is another teapot, not quite as beautiful. This is the one like my grandma used to have, and we use when we have lots of friends around to see us, but of course we don't do that anymore. So anyway, if you're doing it in a teapot, then there's a big debate. Do you pour the tea first in, add the milk, or the other way around? There is various debates on that, and we can have a completely different topic on that in a minute. not in a minute, another time, because I think we're almost run out of time. I said I would only spend 5 minutes telling you how to make a cup of tea. So the key things here are hot water, boiling water. That is the most important thing. Decent tea, completely boiling water. Don't, whatever you do, if you're making it directly in the cup, you have to add the milk later. You cannot get a decently brewed cup of tea without the boiling water directly touching it. And Brad, if I could virtually send this to you, I would send you this cup of tea through the internet, but I'm just going to have to drink it for myself now.
Oh my! Maybe next time.
You all. Okay,
maybe next time.
Back to you.